Do your ideal investors know that you and your business are problem solvers? If you are very confused about what I'm asking, or if you're like, I'm not so sure, you might not be positioning your pitch correctly. So we're going to fix that. Let's go. Hey there, my name is Lauren Kane. I am founder and pitch strategist of VC Worthy Business. I get investors to open their checkbooks for market disrupting female entrepreneurs. First things first, before we dive in, make sure that you click subscribe over here and click the bell. This is the channel here to support female founders on their journey, their fundraising journey to raise investor capital. And so this is designed to support you all the way from pitch until the investor dollars arrive in your bank account. Okay, so back to my question. Do your ideal investors know that you are a problem solver? It is a very hard thing as an entrepreneur to hear this. So I want you to know. Okay, so let's get back to the question at hand. Are you a problem solver? Do your ideal investors know that you and your business are problem solvers? Well, where am I going with this? There is this thing that happens when an entrepreneur starts their business. It's all they want to talk about. They're really, really excited to talk about their business. It is their new baby. It is their thing. It is their every hour of every day thing. They live and breathe this business. It is what is on their mind when they go to bed at night and the first thing when they wake up in the morning. Raise your hand if this sounds familiar. And what happens is when you get into the obsessive place and you then go to raise investor capital and you're working on your script and you're working on your pitch deck, it's the first thing you want to talk about. You're like little kids. I see it all the time with entrepreneurs. I just want to talk about what I do. I just want to talk about this business. It's so amazing. But here's the thing. You haven't hooked anyone in yet. If you're pitching and you haven't hooked them in, at the very beginning, it's going to be really, really hard to do that later in your pitch. So you want to use basically a marketing strategy where you're hooking them in from the first line that you speak. You want to hook them in with the problem. So the problem does a couple amazing things. And I get really excited when I talk about problems. So I might have to keep myself under control during this video. But problems equal what's possible. When you paint the picture of what's possible in your pitch, say that 3 times fast. Oh dear Lord. But when you do that, it starts to take the investor in. They start to want to go on this journey with you. And so how do you get investors' attention right from the beginning? How do you position your problem? Well, what is the problem that your ideal customer has? You already should know this because this is the problem that you are solving. You should have done so much market research by this point that you know what issues your problem has. You should be constantly reaching out to customers and asking them about their feedback on your product or your service so you know inherently what problems they have. What issue did you see when you were creating this business? But there's a really easy way to get investors hooked in. Just view them as fish in the water and you are casting out your reel. How are you going to hook them in? So you can do this by either asking a question, making a powerful statement at the beginning, or telling a story. Now, the story has to be powerful in itself. It can't just be, so I decided to start this business because I saw this need and then the thing happened and then I was like, oh, I should start this business. Or, meet Sally. She has this problem. She doesn't know what to do with herself. And then along came my solution. That's not going to get them hooked in. You can ask a variety of questions or make a solid statement that's going to get investors to do. The main thing you want them to do is to put this thing down. You want them to not be looking at their phone. You don't want them to be checking email with you while they're on Zoom. You want them fully engaged with you. You want them here. You want them here. So there's a reason why at the beginning of all of my videos on YouTube, I usually ask a question or make a statement because it gets you thinking. Are you in the right place? Is this a video you want to keep watching? If I just jumped in, you probably wouldn't stick around. So what are you going to do? I ask a question and you're like, hey, I want to stick around and maybe get this question answered. It's not a question that everyone's going to want answered, but my ideal audience will answer the question or want to know the answer to the question. And so that's what you want with investors. What if I told you that only 3% of women make over $1 million a year in revenue in their business? That gets your attention. What if I were to tell you that, I don't know, I'm so bad at making up businesses. Let's see. What if I were to tell you you're doing it all wrong in the bedroom? Well, that's shocking. You know, most people, especially men, male investors, are going to be like, what the heck is she talking about? What the heck is she talking about? It's a pillow. You're sleeping wrong, but you got their attention. So you immediately get them to put down their phone, stop checking their email, and they're fully engaged. But you're not going to go into what you do yet. You want to set the stage. You want to keep going so that they can see that before you even get to you, that they can see who your ideal customers are, what your market size is. I mean, they might even be able to figure out your business model by just you setting up the problem correctly, because the problem shows what's possible. The problem shows what's possible. And it can show what's possible in so many different areas of your pitch that then it just becomes the mechanics of your pitch, the rest of the information. But you position the problem correctly that when you get to your solution, they're like, of course it's a pillow. Of course. Of course it's a magical floating pillow that causes you to levitate so you never touch the bed, so you're floating on air and your body is just zero gravity and all the things. I'm randomly throwing out things here. But you see that if you build up the energy, you build up the room, that when you say this is what I do, of course, it's a very easy jump. And I know that all your customers are people over the age of 40 who have all the neck aches and back aches and aches, all the aches. Why does that happen when you turn 40? Asking for a friend. But it allows, if you set it up correctly, it allows your listener to go on the journey with you, be excited about where you're taking them, and to also maybe arrive there before you get there, because they're savvy investors. They can see what's possible by what you're telling them. So set the stage with your problem, because remember, the problem shows what's possible. It makes it really easy. And from there, you've got their attention. You just got to make sure you maintain it with some interesting stuff throughout. And we'll talk more about that in other videos. But I mean, it's the problem, people. Start with the problem. Don't introduce yourself. Don't introduce your business and what you do. You can say the name of it. Don't include the tagline if it gives too much away. You're literally starting with the problem. And the best way to do this, and you'll hear me say this a lot, is start off with your script first. Have your PowerPoint deck meet your script. Your script is you. So your script are your words, and your deck can meet it to be whatever it needs to be. But start off with your script. Okay, I hope that was really helpful. And one thing that I want to note is that if you do it correctly, you will attract your ideal investors. So that you know that the people that are intrigued are really the people that are interested in what you're doing. You're not going to attract every investor. So remember that. Not every meeting is going to be an investor wanting to go into due diligence. You want to make sure that it is an investor that you want to actually talk to as well, that you want them to invest in your business. So, just keep an open mind that it's not going to attract everyone. It's going to attract your ideal investor. So does your pitch show your ideal investors that you are a problem solver and the possibilities in the problem that you are solving? Okay, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. We have a bunch others here for you to check out to support you on your pitch journey. I hope that you will do that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.